Welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
Today we are looking at a dialogue which is called Celebrating Valentine's Day.
Ooh, Valentine's Day. That's a pretty fun little holiday that actually, I don't know if it's as popular over here, but I think it's getting more and more popular. But it was always a big deal in the US. I have lots of memories of celebrating Valentine's Day when I was a little kid.
Yeah, I used to really like Valentine's Day when I was a kid because there's lots of candy that goes with Valentine's Day. You have the hearts with a little message on them, a little loving message, and also the little red cinnamon hearts we used to have as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, that is something that people might not realize, but in America and Canada as well, that there is lots and lots of Valentine candy. It's all in pink boxes and like pink little peeps. Those are just marshmallows covered in sugar. The little sweethearts, and they'll say like, be mine, and these cute little things. And yes, they were all delicious. I remember eating lots of sweets around Valentine's.
And also at school, we used to give each other Valentine's Day cards. You'd have to give them to all of your classmates so not to leave anyone out or make anyone sad. But you'd make sure not to give too loving of a card to any girls in your class if you were a boy because you didn't want them to think you liked them.
Yes, I actually remember that very clearly because you could buy the boxes of the whole set of little Valentine's Day cards that you could give your classmates, and they all said something different. And some of them were very friendly and happy, and some of them were like, I love you. And those ones you usually gave to your best friends and not a boy or a girl that you liked, because that would be too embarrassing in grade school.
That's right. Okay, well, we're going to see how some people celebrate Valentine's Day today in this dialogue. So let's take a look.
Anna is curious about Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is kind of a big deal in the US, right?
For some people, it definitely is. Did you know it actually has a long history?
Really? I had no idea. I thought it was a modern holiday.
It was originally Roman, but it became the Christian feast day of Saint Valentine. One legend says he was a priest who secretly married couples.
That's kind of sweet. It went from a Roman tradition to people giving chocolates and flowers.
Yeah. Whether you celebrate it or not, it's interesting to know where it came from.
It makes me want to learn about the origins of other holidays too.
Hello there. Today we are looking at part 1 of Celebrating Valentine's Day. So part 1 is called The Origins of Valentine's Day. All right, we have an opening line here. Anna is curious about Valentine's Day.
Yes, and I think a lot of people are probably curious about the origins and where this came from. So today in our dialogue, we have Anna and Ben, and they are going to figure out a little bit more about the actual holiday, Valentine's Day. So we have Anna, and she starts off with, Valentine's Day is kind of a big deal in the US, right?
All right, and Ben replies to her, for some people, it definitely is. Did you know it actually has a long history? All right, so yeah, he's saying for some people in the US, it's definitely a big holiday. Now, when he says definitely, that is an adverb that means without a doubt or for sure, for certain. It means that there are people that love Valentine's Day, that celebrate Valentine's Day, but maybe not everyone, because he said definitely for some people. We have an example sentence for definitely. It says, you should definitely try the chocolate cake.
Yes, and so now Anna replies to this, really? I had no idea. This is replying to the fact that Ben had said that it has a long history. And so she says, really? I had no idea. I thought it was a modern holiday. And I think for a lot of people, when they think about Valentine's Day, they think of what we do now and all the flowers and roses and candies and chocolates and all that kind of stuff. But that is a more modern version of the holiday.
Yeah, so it can be, we have a modern Valentine's Day today, but this history of celebrating Valentine's Day goes back quite a long time. All right, now it's time to go to Hanny.Hello，
大家好，我是 Hanny。这次的绘画是关于庆祝情人节。在第一段对话里 ，Anna 对情人节感到好奇，她问 Ben， 情人节在美国算是挺重要的，对吧？那么 Ben 回答，对某些人来说确实如此，但是情人节其实有悠久的历史。Anna 听得很惊讶，还以为那是现代的节日。我们先看单字 definitely。Definitely 这个副词表示一定、肯定或是当然，而文中有用到 big deal， 这是表达大事件或是重要的事情。那么 Sam 老师提到送花、送巧克力等等这些做法呢，是比较现代版的情人节。老师这时候用到 version 这个字 V-E-R-S-I-O-N， 它是表达版本、变化形式。介华课文中。
Thank you, Hanny. Now let's get back to the dialogue.Ben says, it was originally Roman, but it became the Christian feast day of Saint Valentine. One legend says he was a priest who secretly married couples. Okay, so Ben is telling Anna about this history of Valentine's Day. So it goes all the way back to the times of the Roman Empire, and it was a holiday back then too, but it became a feast of this Christian saint.
And so we had this word legend in here, and legend means something that has happened before, and it's some kind of really big, important story, and it's some kind of story that's been passed down after lots of generations. But you might not know if it's 100% true, because it's something that, like, maybe it started as something small, but as people talked about it more and more and more, it got all these more details, and it's more interesting and more epic and all of that. And so that's why it's a legend. So legend has it that something happened. We don't know if it's all true or not, but it usually makes a very good story and usually has pieces of history in it. And our example sentence is, the old man told us a local legend about a ghost. So that in this small town, there must have been a story about a ghost, and maybe people see it often, but again, nobody really knows all the details, so it's still a legend. And then we go back to Anna, and she says, that's kind of sweet. It went from a Roman tradition to people giving chocolates and flowers. So it went from this very kind of real thing that was, marrying people and having them be able to get married. And now it's just like, here, get some flowers and chocolates.
Well, it's a celebration of love, right?
Yeah, all right. I guess either way.
People getting married celebrates their love, and now people celebrate their love by giving chocolates and flowers. All right, so Ben says, yeah, whether you celebrate it or not, it's interesting to know where it came from.
Yes, and then Anna says, it makes me want to learn about the origins of other holidays too. And those are actually very fun things to look up if you are interested. There are lots of origin stories for lots of different holidays that you probably have no idea, and they're quite fun to learn about.
Okay, well, now let's go to Hanny.
Ben 提到情人节原本是古罗马的节日，但是后来成为基督教的圣瓦伦丁瞻礼日。那么文中的 feast day 它是指宗教节日、斋日或是瞻礼日，在基督教传统中是纪念圣人、殉道者或是重要宗教事件的特殊日子。那这边的圣人指的就是 Saint Valentine 圣瓦伦丁。传说他是一位秘密为情侣证婚的神父。好，单字 legend 这个名词表示传说、传奇故事。那我们补充它的一个相关句型是 legend has it 加上 that 子句，就可以表达传说怎么样、据说怎么样。那介华课文中
Okay, so we are back. And so we have just kind of learned a little bit about the history of Valentine's Day and what people maybe did or celebrated before. But in a minute, we're going to go to the second part of the dialogue, and then we're going to learn something about what they're doing now.
Anna and Ben discuss more about Valentine's Day.
Sometimes it feels like Valentine's Day has become all about buying flowers, chocolates, or expensive gifts.
Yeah, it's very commercialized. Stores start advertising weeks before the big day.
If you're not dating someone, it can feel like you're left out completely.
True. But I think the original idea of telling people you care is still nice. And it doesn't have to be just for couples.
Right? In Finland, it's actually called Friends Day. It's about showing appreciation for friends.
That sounds way more relaxed. Probably a lot less pressure than how it is here.
All right, welcome back. So now we're looking at our second part of the dialogue, which is called Valentine's Day Traditions. So Anna and Ben discuss more about Valentine's Day. So we have our two same characters, Anna and Ben, and they are still talking about Valentine's Day.
Yes, and so last time we learned about the history, but now we're learning about what do people do now. And so Anna says, sometimes it feels like Valentine's Day has become all about buying flowers, chocolates, or expensive gifts. So she's kind of looking at how before it was really more about celebrating love, and now it's more about what gift did you give and what did you get and all of that kind of stuff.
So Ben says, yeah, it's very commercialized. Stores start advertising weeks before the big day. And I think this is common with every modern holiday where stores start to promote the holiday, start to sell the things that they want to sell around that holiday much in advance, way in advance before the actual holiday. So they start to advertise. Now, to advertise is a verb, and it means to promote or to talk about a product in a way that the public can know about that product. So usually it's done through media, on things like television advertisements, which are commercials, or through magazines, or you might see billboards. Any kind of thing that promotes a product and makes people want to buy something is advertising. An example sentence, the product was advertised on social media.
Yes, and so this is really funny. Again, in the US, it will be like a few weeks before, the entire grocery store is just pink from Valentine's Day. Balloons and flowers and just everything. But it's very early, and sometimes it's good because it helps you remember, but also it's kind of a little bit like, oh, I still just want normal candy, not heart-shaped candy. Anyway, so Anna says, if you're not dating someone, it can feel like you're left out completely. So you can feel like this day is so much about being together with other people. And so if you're not dating, it can kind of make you feel a little bit sad.
That is true. Well, now it's time for us to go to Hanny.
Anna 他们还在聊情人节，那 Anna 认为有时候觉得情人节已经变得只剩下买花、买巧克力或昂贵礼物了。那么 Ben 也很认同，他觉得非常商业化。商店在这个大日子的几周前呢，就已经开始在打广告了。那么 Anna 接着说，如果没有交往对象，就会觉得自己完全被排除在外。文中用到 leave somebody out， 就是表达把某人排除在外，遗漏某人。而单字 advertise 它是动词，表示为什么做广告，为什么宣传。Matt 老师在解释单字时有提到 billboard 它是指大型广告看板。而补充单字 commercialize 它是动词，表示使商业化，使商品化。那我们接着回到课文中。
All right, welcome back. So Anna and Ben were just talking about how some people might feel alone on Valentine's Day if they don't have someone to be with. But Ben says, true, But I think the original idea of telling people you care is still nice. And it doesn't have to be just for couples.
Yes, and so Anna says, right? In Finland, it's actually called Friends Day. It's about showing appreciation for friends. And I know in America recently, in recent years, they also do something called Galentine's Day. And so they put the word gal in front of it, which is another word for a girl. And then all the girlfriends get together and celebrate and go out and have dinner and stuff like that too. So there's Galentine's Day around Valentine's Day. It might be the day before, but anyway. So there's lots of other ways to celebrate Valentine's Day.
All right, well then Ben says, that sounds way more relaxed. Probably a lot less pressure than how it is here.
Yes, and so we have this adjective relaxed. If something is relaxed, it is easygoing, not stressed. You are nice and relaxed. You might go on vacation to sit on a beach so that you can relax and let your body just, kind of chill, and your brain can kind of chill, and then you can come back more refreshed. Here we're talking about the feeling would be more relaxed, so you wouldn't be as nervous and stressed about what do I need to buy for Valentine's Day. You can just be like, oh, I'm just going to tell them that I'm happy that they're my friend, and you don't have to be stressed. And our example sentence is, Andrew looked relaxed and confident before the big game.
Okay, yeah, so that does sound like a nice way to enjoy Valentine's Day with your friends if we just call it Friends Day, or as you mentioned, things like Galentine's Day, or if maybe there's a Galentine's Day. I don't know, but if it's for people just to hang there, Palentine's Day, to hang out with your pals. I think that sounds like a good way to celebrate. All right, now let's go to Hanny.
Anna 聊到，在芬兰情人节其实被称为朋友节，是关于向朋友表达感谢。Ben 认为这听起来轻松多了。那么 relaxed 它就是形容轻松自在的或是放松的。刚刚 Sam 老师也有提到，近几年流行 Galentine's Day， 它就是结合了 gal 女孩和 Valentine's Day 情人节，那这是对女性朋友之间他们的友谊庆祝日。还有一个听起来是比较性别中立的说法是 Palentine's Day， 它是结合了 pal 朋友加上 Valentine's Day， 那这就可以是任何性别朋友之间的友谊庆祝日了。好，那我们接着回课文中。
All right, thank you, Hanny. So today, Anna and Ben have talked a lot about Valentine's Day, about the traditions from a long, long time ago to the modern traditions and commercialization of today's Valentine's Day. So I hope you have some ideas about how to celebrate Valentine's Day this year. So now let's review the dialogue again, and we will see you tomorrow.
Anna is curious about Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is kind of a big deal in the US, right?
For some people, it definitely is. Did you know it actually has a long history?
Really? I had no idea. I thought it was a modern holiday.
It was originally Roman, but it became the Christian feast day of Saint Valentine. One legend says he was a priest who secretly married couples.
That's kind of sweet. It went from a Roman tradition to people giving chocolates and flowers.
Yeah. Whether you celebrate it or not, it's interesting to know where it came from.
It makes me want to learn about the origins of other holidays too.
Anna and Ben discuss more about Valentine's Day.
Sometimes it feels like Valentine's Day has become all about buying flowers, chocolates, or expensive gifts.
Yeah, it's very commercialized. Stores start advertising weeks before the big day.
If you're not dating someone, it can feel like you're left out completely.
True. But I think the original idea of telling people you care is still nice. And it doesn't have to be just for couples.
Right? In Finland, it's actually called Friends Day. It's about showing appreciation for friends.
That sounds way more relaxed. Probably a lot less pressure than how it is here.
最后我们来复习今天课文里的单字 definitely 副词表示一定、肯定、当然 legend 名词表示传说、传奇故事 advertise 动词表示为什么什么做广告、为什么宣传 relaxed 则是形容轻松自在的、放松的。那以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Hey, 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 it's KiWi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie.
And today it's time for another episode of Fear Box.
Are you ready, Winnie?
As ready as I'll ever be.
This doesn't get any easier.
Careful. What is that? Why is it sticky?
I
Sticky?
don't know, like rubbery.
Ew, what is that?
Ew, why is it like weirdy? What is this? It's rubbery. It's flimsy and floppy.
Huh?
I don't know what this is. I have no idea.
What? Do you feel a shape?
What is this? Is that a bat? Is it a bat?
Yeah, it's a rubber bat.
No, okay. It is not Halloween, so put that away. Well, that's all we have for today. Our friend Dracula, Mortimer, has something to say.
Follow us on Instagram. Send us a DM or an email if there's something you want to say in English but you just don't know how. Kiki, is there anything else you want to say?
Time to fly away, Morty.
Kiwi, later!